Yes, sir. Gotta go.
It's to you.
Motherfucking you.
Kev Gills, I got you on me.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man.
So,
Welcome to the U, have a seat. The only professor applying pressure when he teach. Big cloud in these YouTube streets. I cheat like Wiz Khalif. Call it in if you gon' speak. Press 1 when you checking in. I got the merch, copper coffee, a kush shirt. Support the brand if you support the man. With the spirit of Steve Coakley, they can't hold me. Back them down and fade away on them like I'm Kobe. Only straight shooter on this computer. Who else you know gon' bring it to your real truth? Hallelujah. More haters, more moderators. Get yourself timed out for making outlandish statements. Yeah, ain't no playing. Bungalow 54 is where you go with the
Get him
herd.
outta
I got
here.
no patience. Either for God or you love Satan. It's reclassification over entertainment. It's the you.
it's the you.
Everybody wanna have a school, but it's for you. Care less what a hater say you do. It's for you.
It's the you, champion.
Press 1 if you support, if you don't press 2. It's for you. Teach nothing over here but the living true. It's for you.
Press 1, press 1.
Press 1, press 1. Press 1, press 1. Press 1, press 1.
That's my dog.
Press 1, press 1. Press 1, press 1.
That's a cold track right there, fam. What a beautiful day in paradise. Akhenaten University, boo, they failed. Amun-Ra University, they crumbled. Brother Polite University, crumbled. We like one of them hidden gems in the South. Yeah, alumni type shit. We just run them boys over. You feel me? Jabari, big-headed ass, fail. Press 1. Lord have mercy. What's up with you, Todd? Good to see you this morning, brother. Good to see you. You gonna love this shit right here. Oh my goodness. Shining. It is 80-something degrees in LA. Sheesh. Lord have mercy. If you're not here, I don't know where you at. Jeez, it's hot. Oh, man. Dane Calloway. We got Sonetta beating up on Dane Calloway still. Press 1. Oh, poor Dane Calloway busted plagiarizing once more. It never fails. Is it when your material is stolen? To be a true champion doesn't matter about views. It's about consistency, like Floyd Mayweather say before he just sit the plane somewhere. Press 1. Put God first. Eat your Wheaties, like Hulkamaniac say. Press 1. And don't do bad things, like I say. Just don't do bad things, and you're gonna be straight on earth. I know it's hard in our democratic community not to do bad things, but luckily we got Kev teach us a little bit of something why you shouldn't. Jamie Lee, what's up with it? Lori, good to see you. Ali, good to see you, champion. Lord have mercy. Let me see. Said Bernardo, good to see you, champion. Man, let's see who up in here. Nail the Beat is up in here. Can't make this shit up. She up in here. Shiva, Marley, Forrest Glory, Amanda, Evelyn Bland, Bree C. Good to see you in class this morning. Brian King, what's up with you, champion? Oh my goodness. I was gonna get up here and do my Gene deal. I said, no, why not? I'll wait for Judge Gills, and we'll just prosecute Gene and Reggie all together at one time over on Coffee and Kush TV. But right now, I thought, why not just do some teaching? You know, we've been off the internet for a minute, unmonetized, of course, hitting this shit back to back to back to back. Sometimes you need a break and refresh. You know, you got to take a break off of the plantation they call YouTube. And Janita Moore, good to see you. Yes. I stumbled upon some great information today. Yesterday, uh, it's been a great, great ride, and we've been up on this internet talking about the Black Holocaust for I don't know how long. We bring it up. Harvard University, Skull and Bones, the fraternity, the home of the fraternity. Press one. They bring up and start doing teachings on the Black Holocaust, but stop short of the most main ingredients. But it's good. The Black Holocaust is real. It is documented, and that's all we needed was them to conform over to righteousness. Mm, mm, mm. That's all. The rest we can handle. Just get it right there. Harvard, Yale University. Thank you for that. Yale University. It was Yale University. Excuse me, not Harvard. That's where the lower class people went. We went to Yale University. Excuse me. I don't know the difference. Only thing I know is Dorsey, Crenshaw, and a few other schools in Los Angeles. I don't know too much. Los Angeles Unified School District, stand the fuck up. That's all I know. Press one. But Yale University brings up the Black Holocaust, which is great. That word Holocaust is very important because it means something, damn it. And it doesn't mean Adolf Hitler did this over there in Germany. That is not what the Holocaust means. Anybody want to call in and give me a brief definition on what the term Holocaust mean? Press one. That'd be great. 424-209-9506. It's very important if you're going to be here to talk with some sense or don't talk at all. It's a lot of cool people up in here, males and females from all over the world. Don't be up here talking silly. If you don't know what to say, if you don't have good things to say, don't say not in the morning class. Don't even do it, bro. It's not worth it. Oh, what a glorious time. We don't brought up all of the bones that existed, the whole Holocaust experience. Jeez Louise. This whole ritualistic sacrifice that we see here today in the future of these past events. Hit the like button and subscribe. Oh, I love this. I love getting calls early in the morning. Coffee and Kush TV, KevRow University Live, Channel 54. You on the air? What up?
Hi, good day. This is Nicola from Manchester. Blessings, King.
Okay, talk to me.
I just wanted to call and tell you the definition of Holocaust.
Go
Isn't
ahead.
it organic flesh?
A what?
Organic flesh?
Is it organic flesh?
Yes.
Let me go to the board. Let me go to the judges. Is it organic flesh? I don't think it's organic flesh. I don't think so. I think you're halfway there, but you missed the most important thing, which is it's the burning of organic flesh.
Understood.
A Holocaust.
Yes.
This is necromancy at its finest.
Yes, sir.
You see, so you're halfway right. Don't worry about the chat room of Chris Cook and Mark Tolliver. They don't even attend this school. They not in my Discord. They just running their mouth. You feel me? You did great. Thank you for having more courage than the man in the chat room, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's the first thing. That's what we not doing, cowards. Press one. That's what you already fucked up. Press, you already fucked up is you ain't making fun of not one of my female students that take time out their day to attempt to try. Nigga, you ain't doing it. Both of y'all stand up and go to row 54. You got one more chance around this motherfucker. In the bungalows, you go. Huh, Marley? No, that we not doing that this year. I'm Kev. I'm the host of the show. Nigga, this ain't no YouTube page. This is Revelation, fool. Press one. You thought. And got two clowns. Caught them. First day of school. Press, don't even know what to do here. Press one. One more move like that, friends, and you're up out of here. You're going to have to change your little profile and start over from go. Press one. Especially if you're not a known person in the chat room or in the discussion board or dropping links or helping other students learn something. Nigga, you not wanted here. Press one. The fuck you think this is? A block hangout? This ain't O Block fool. Nigga, this is where we learn. Press one. Nigga, it's the end of the world, nigga. You ain't finna come over here and do none of that. Go over there to Sinetta's network. Go over there to that one, Ollie. Go over there to Brother Polite. Oh, shit. Press what? How to trade crypto in 2023 type shit. Over here, we learning though. I know you want to talk about Gene Deal. Wrong class. Wrong class, buddy. Todd is goofy as hell. Come on. Todd is the usher to row 54. He sits on the edge so he can let you in. He's like the usher, right this way. That'll be this row. Yeah, y'all not allowed to do nothing else. Y'all not allowed to do that. That's my dog. That's my dog. You feel me? If I was in an audience, I'll be in row 54 too. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll be right there with you, with my silly self, but I'm not. Press what? But I'm the host, nigga. I'm not there, champ. Sorry for your luck. Privilege. White privilege. I'm the only one with white privilege over here. Press one. White privilege feel good in the virtual world. I think I'll stay here for quite some time. Lord have mercy. So, we've been talking about the Black Holocaust and trying to locate these furnaces and in different locations and railroads and the total destruction of this whole system before these motherfuckers got over here talking about some damn Tataria. Press one. And the Indians. The great people that were here that's buried right beneath us. Right up under Lake Elsinore, or what's them lakes all around America that's flooded out, that all the black people was living at, they got flooded out and erased from history. Press one. Nobody want to talk about it because, first of all the niggas, YouTubers, and all of the women in the black community, the only thing they care about is Africa and entertainment and sexy red. Press one. They don't care about nothing else. That's why I'm not here for them type of people. I'm here for people who actually contribute to this page and need these outlets to continue further. I love it. I love to hear my Discord sound going off early. They got info over there. They've been researching. So yeah, we found thousands and millions and millions and millions of bones. And not just over in Europe, but over here in Americas as well. And in the islands where they were doing a lot of excavating, burying a lot of America's dead, which would be your people, the Victorians, who were buried in mass graves because they were racially cleansed and exterminated, which is my theory. World War I, the Hellfighters, and that silly ass story about this one dude who was, I said, hell no, something ain't right here. Y'all ain't finna glorify an illusion with our people. Let me get to the bottom of this. Because you know, Brother Polite in jail, we ain't got nothing else to do. Press one. Why not take a historical ride? We was directed to a great film, The Man in the High Castle. Oh yeah, if you ain't watched that, go watch it. In fact, Discord is up and running. We will be taking a look at these different perspectives and movies and things of this nature, and come back on YouTube with a better, clearer mind. Lord have mercy. These people, and we were looking for how could they had did a Holocaust. How could they did a Holocaust right under our noses? Now, okay, the Jews and this one, whatever Holocaust that was, whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the African American Holocaust and the destruction of their whole nation, the whole black nation. Press one. And we was talking about Liberty bonds. Shout out to Max. He dropped this in the Discord. We was talking about Liberty bonds a few months ago and things of that nature. They actually invested in the coup d'etat in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, which was all your people. You don't come from Africa. Africa come from you. You don't come from Africa. In fact, the first the Americans civilized Africa. Facts. They civilized Iberia, the whole Morocco, everything. Got them to stand upright. Press one. So this whole notion that Africa is the motherland is for us is there may be a connection further down in history, but as far as we come from Africa is one of the biggest misnomers and misconceptions of our heritage here in America, and that after that being you, Dan Calloway style of an Indian. Press one. We've been trying to figure out what was the flashpoint in time of destruction that caused our people to lose who they were completely, and for them to place you in a 1,000-year dream world where you just daydream now and you all free and everything is good because you can get a loan and buy things under your debt status. This is insane. So it's a beautiful thing to go back in time and rethink, ponder things that shit is a thorn in a lot of people's brains, not just mine. Now, how is history get so fuzzy in the late 1800s and 1900s? And it's because I believe Adolf Hitler and them won the war. Press one. And didn't want to pay back these Liberty bonds. So they took over this nation, all of them, coup d'etat. They were here to work off this debt that they owed for Germany for France, what was it? Germany destroying France. And then in World War II, France and the Allies destroying Germany when they all German over there. Germany ain't but 50 feet from France. Press one. So when your people invested real gold, real silver into Liberty bonds, press one, it was enough for them to overthrow you. They owed our forefathers so much money. That's why. That's where your reparations come from Germany and France and the state of Israel. But all three of them, because the state of Israel wasn't created till after the war, so they can launder all of the money they earned through a state for themselves, and they all became Israel, black and white, all Moorish hat-wearing, French allegiant Nazi, white supremacists, status-wise, and got you on cryptocurrency and crypto fiat, French. You took on their history. George Washington isn't a white man with no wig. That's French. That's France. That's all them. So understanding what we be thinking about and talking about here takes a great mind, or one that wants to be a thinker, not somebody who's closed mind, just accept reality for what it is. Go ahead. It's okay. That's on you. It's okay for me to think, though. I like to think and talk about these things with other people, and that's why this page, KevRow University Live, exists. I love waking up, bringing these discussions because it's dope when you bring back the truth. You feel me? So looking back at what was that film called? The Man in the High Castle, where they showed an alternative form of history where the Nazis did prevail with Japan to win World War II, which was exactly what we were saying. Both of these nations are black sun worshipers, the destruction black sun, atomic energy type black sun. But let me get back to these bonds and how this work before we get into this is the Dawes plan. Remember the Dawes Rolls? Okay? The Dawes plan. USA lends money to Germany, which is spent building up the German economy. German uses increased tax from America revenues to pay reparations to France, in which they destroyed. France pays back the war loans to the USA. It imports U.S. goods to help rebuild France. Okay, so it was a great fluke, in my opinion. It was a great fluke, but you get the logistics of the Dawes plan and the Dawes Rolls and why you were put on the Dawes Rolls and made black in law. You want to know why you say I'm black today? Because you were made black in law. Anybody want to call in and tell me? Don't type it. Anybody want to call in and tell the audience and tell the rest of the class why they are black in law? Anybody? I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you right here. It can be anybody. I ain't tripping. 424-209-9506. You are black, which means what does that mean in law? Don't get creative and get the typing all fast when you're going to get blocked. 424-209-9506. This is going to be a good year. I can feel it. This is going to be a good year. Why are you black? And what does it mean to be black? Coffee and Cook, KevRow University. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's going on, Kev? It's Cam B from Sacramento, my friend.
Oh, my God. Sacramento in the building. What's up, champ?
Dead, stateless, without a nation, right?
Yes, sir.
Property. We made property. When they can consider us dead, all of our rights, all of our land could be distributed, and it was.
But federally, by an invading army.
Federally. Correct.
Yes. So what does it mean to be dead? Could you be alive and dead at the same time? Talk to me, brother.
You could be physically dead. I mean, physically alive. Your straw man is alive, yes. But all your rights and everything, your sovereignty is not. We're just our eyes are physically alive, but everything else that matters to everybody, everyone else, dead.
So in law, when you are incompetent in something like that, and you have what does it mean when you show up to the court dead or something like that? They are incompetent. What do you need?
Dead in law, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
You're dead in law and you are incompetent. You must have a conservator, right, or someone who is a holder of your estate, a holder of your land, until you can be deemed competent.
Wow.
And we were never meant and have never been meant to be competent.
You were well by those who have that authority over you, who assume that position, but you did at one time to be emancipated and be deemed competent and get your estate at one point in time.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So,
yes, sir.
So
I'm at work yet, but
thank
you calling somebody to call.
Thank
I'm
you,
calling, brother.
My man, Sacktown in the building. See? So I'm not the only one who think about these things. The brother there. And so, and then I just tell old boy not to speak unless he gonna call it in. Escort him out. So if I felt like Gene Deal, it was me, Paul, press what? I felt like Gene Deal. So if you're not the controller of the estate and you need somebody to represent you because you're incompetent or dead in law, you need somebody to speak for you because you can't speak. Like on the Matrix when they say, what good is getting your phone call when you can't speak, when you have no legal education to defend yourself from what they're even saying. That's what the agent in the Matrix was saying. What good is that when we control both sides? We gonna be the ones defending you. Who is that in America? Press 1. We're going to be the ones defending you. Call it in, Ali. Not this time, buddy. Press 1. Call it in. Who's going to be the one speaking for you? Does anybody out there know? 424-209-9506. Who's going to be the individual speaking for you? And who do they work for? That's important. That's very important to understand even why you here. 424-209-9506. In a minute, we ain't even going to have to say the number. The phone going to be ringing off. I'm training up some educated monsters. I can't wait till I get to that part. Yeah. Who is that speaks for you when you go to court? How did you end up in the state of black, which does not exist, which is dead? So you are dead. You praise death. You want to be dead. You agree that you're dead under the law. You agree. So everybody know you dead. Everybody know you going to jail. I mean, a dead person cannot be competent. Everybody know you dead. That's why everybody got named. Like, oh my goodness, this is my good. If it ain't one of my favorite students, Deb, what's going on?
Hello, sir. Well, I was reading in the 1828 dictionary, and by the time I got through reading, you had another question for us.
Go ahead.
And this question is, how am I dead in law?
Yes.
I'm dead in law because my parents came under some kind of tragedy having a child, signed me into a hospital, which is a ward of the state.
Well, let me inform my students which side of the coin that we on, because in the rare occasions of YouTube, we got Miss Deb, which we will call a white lady, tell her side of this crazy stuff. Oh man, this crazy historical moment that we got before us. So, from your perspective, after a huge catastrophe, you were admitted in some hospital. Go ahead.
Yes, they docked me there with a doctor, and all of this is being done under a maritime law, which was created by the Great Britons, which is really us, the people who were here first, which is you, God's people, which were here first. They called it Great Britain as a designator,
Yes.
like New York, as a designator, as another place than what was originally here. They put us into the hospital, making us a ward of the state right then, following canon law,
Yes.
which states that I am to be salvaged. Well, under my salvage, it costs money.
Yes.
They open a ship owner's liability insurance policy, an SOL. And under that, they charge my account for the rest of my life. There's different stages of life you go through, and they make money off of it. Catastrophe, they make money off of it. Going to college, they make money off of it. The whole thing is selling the children into bondage under a false backwritten history of the Catholic Church through their invasion policy.
So you became a ward of the state. You became a ward of the state by way of birth certificate and being brought in,
yes, sir.
Tethered into by a doctor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Got you.
Tethered. And through the Salvage Act,
yes,
they can do things like put you in jail and open your trust and play with it.
Well, of course,
do whatever they want.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. The 13th and the 14th amendments, which allowed the tapping in, which later turned into the 94 crime bill of a state of hell for an eternity, which they thought was a master plan to white supremacy. So let's go back to Liberty Bonds, early World War I, World War II. The bringing forth of Sol Invectus, are which the Americans know as Statue of Liberty. What do you know about it?
Yes.
This is Ellis Island. This is Ellis Island, by the way. Go ahead.
There are those islands which had forts on them. They were major infrastructure. The newspaper article sent over on your Discord has major money that Germany owes us for that bombing, for the sabotage. Woodrow Wilson let off the men that were committed, sentenced to death for it. He gave them.
I'm done with building women.
Yes.
I'm done.
And we know that Woodrow Wilson.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And we know that Woodrow Wilson is an import. He's an immigrant himself.
Yes.
Coming in through a cloak and dagger situation where they took over the country. And looking at the map,
let's identify, because we got a lot of new people here. Let's just say, let's call them by name: Red Cross.
Yes, sir.
And
Red Cross.
Yes. The Red Cross is known for immigration and bringing foreign officers, Nazis, Germans, Tsars, Russians, doesn't matter, all for the price of it. And the Catholic Church heavily involved in it, bringing Nazi soldiers here. Go ahead.
Yes, cleaning the paperwork.
Yes.
The creation of a desolated people,
Yes.
a demolished people, a flash bombed people. Any remnants are only here through God's grace. This doesn't happen. This kind of thing doesn't get turned over and viewed in public without God being involved. I know that I have no voice in court.
So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So the Holocaust of the organic tissue in America, the burning,
yes, sir.
the Black Holocaust of the black families that left and never came back, lost at sea for an eternity, never to return. What happened, do you think? How, in your opinion, because that's what we have here, how do you think they entered, they got American boys, firstborn men and boys, their heirs, off the land to give access to hundreds of millions of aliens, illegal aliens, in the late after the coup d'etat in 1880 1898, and all up in that time, all the way up until now. Yes, go ahead.
Now, the Holocaust in the 1828 dictionary says a burnt sacrifice or offering, the whole of which was consumed by fire, a species of sacrifice used among the Jews and some pagan nations.
Okay, now take it. Now wait a minute. Take your time, Deb. It's very important. Start over because you was cutting in and out, and I want every student to hear what a Holocaust is. This is why people are claiming to be Jews and the Holocaust and these. So it's very important that you know. You have to know there was a Holocaust and an erasing of our people's history and spiritual selves, all by way of dolls and all of these other things. But go ahead, Deb. Start over. Go ahead.
Holocaust, a burnt sacrifice or offering, the whole of which was consumed by fire. A species of sacrifice in use among the Jews and some pagan nation. They sent them off to war, starting with a plan of we will just go and help rebuild for those poor people over there.
Right. So our building of Morocco and Iberia and things was initially a setup to get our boys off the land and then get that started. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. The Spanish-American War.
That's right.
The wars that we believe actually happened.
Yes.
Are like in Louisiana.
That's right.
They're happening here. They're not over there.
What she's saying is, if you go check the records for your great-great-grandfathers and before, they were all sent off to the Spanish War that way while this was going on. And when they coming back, they came on. They just did something so irrationally treacherous that you got to wake up and understand why God is necessary. Go ahead, Deb.
Yes, sir. The whole illusion of it is that God's men will go and help. We know that God's men are helpful to those in need. And then they brought in the International Red Cross, which provided them with influenza.
This is where they get the Templar stories and the stories of legend, which happen in natural form this way. Go ahead, Deb. Tired of playing with them. I'm tired of playing.
Two great-grandpas ago.
That's right. Just a couple grandmamas ago, right, Deb?
My history in my stolen Bible is 1898. Licking County, Ohio. So that would be a strike war. That would be a unionized war. The labor unions took up the men with a poverty. You cannot be without money in your pocket. You must have a job here.
It's illegal to not have money in your pocket and have this fiat currency. If you didn't, guess where you went, Deb? Tell them where they went.
You went first to jail, and then you got sorted out.
Then you went to the labor camps. You went to the labor camps. Tell them. And you put on your first. Hold on, Deb. Let me get them. I'm talking to the African Americans. That was your first initial Foot Locker store that you went into, and your first pinstripe outfit. You was the first manager of the store Foot Locker, in which you are indebted to. This is insane. But go ahead, Deb. Get them.
Yes, sir. The labor laws. You said.
Is this 13th and 14th Amendment? Is this 13th and 14th Amendment?
I won't go into there because we're not even.
We ain't even. Go ahead, Deb.
We're in the institution. We're in the Sterilization Act, and at the same time, they do it now. ain't let me out early in prison if I get sterilized.
That's right.
They're doing it to women now. They've been doing it my whole
The
life.
whole time.
Letting me sterilize.
That's right. If you get sterilized, you can
This
get
is
out.
normal.
If you kill your race, you can get out. If you go to Planned
Yes,
Parenthood
sir.
and get your tubes tied, I know where you can get out. Cut your nuts off.
Yes,
Press
sir.
one. Sterilize yourself. When you go to prison,
Mm-hmm.
sterilize for the rest of your life. Oh, you about to get sterilized. This thing here is how they are able to do this and exterminate. This is if Adolf Hitler won the war. This is what he would have did to you. It's up to you to see if that's what was done to you in our lives here in America to even relate. Go ahead, Deb.
Yes, sir. I'm blessed to be alive.
That's
I'm blessed
right.
to be here and speaking to you. I want to come through clearly and strongly and boldly. And God, my world has brought us. We're not going to be safe continuing the same old, same old. We have to stand up and recognize that the Holocaust of the American Negro is real,
That's right.
and teaching it in colleges. How dare them be shallow about it? This is a deep subject that has to be revealed. Their pictures are lies. Their pictures are lies. Just for the go along, right down to the wooden barrels. They used steel barrels back then and lie. And just it's ridiculous. I'm going to let somebody else come in,
Thank
but I
you, Deb.
thank you, sir, for
Thank
the
you, Deb.
opportunity to speak.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Deb. See, Deb will let you know. World War I, World War II, get you off the land. Take your properties. The Rothschilds and the Catholic Church go into business. Set all of your gods in an allegorical storytelling format. And the children of Israel will believe in Greek gods of Egyptian phalluses, but it'll all be necromancy. So if you're a Pan-African and believe to be an Egyptian of whatever it is, as a black person, nothing against you. This is why you believe that. And don't believe in scripture because, one, you don't know the law and you wasn't supposed to know the law, but you gonna know the law. You know not to do bad things, which is a good story. Why I bring up the American law and the law of scripture, because it's all Levitical and ecclesiastical down to your Bill of Rights. So your whole existence on being freedom is just by way of King George Washington, the scriptures by God. This nation was established, and all of the 12 colonies, which 12 tribes, are given by way of the estate being handed over to the first indentured workers, which was you, the sons of Adam. Not slaves, indentured workers. You got to work to live here, like they say. Yeah, to grow up and understand why the blessings of an estate is handed over. Well, what did they say? I gave my people a republic for as long as they can keep it, because them bankers over there, they got a cold twist. It's all written in scripture, though. So if you know history, then you'll be able to unveil scripture. You got to be able to correlate scripture because it's written in a way. They were so materialistic in the golds and your land and your people's shit. They was just playing. If you see the book, have you ever seen the movie The Book of Eli? And you see the white man in the movie, he didn't want to have the word of God just because it was real to him. He wanted for what it brought. You feel me? And so like the scriptures say, until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled, until the fattening, until he gets what he gets. And that's about getting what he get is good. Hit the like button and subscribe. Shout out to Deb. 424-209-9506, the Black Holocaust. Let's talk about how our people ended up in the Caribbean. Press 1. Yeah, man. This World Fair, this Freedom Land, this Epcot, all of this is about to be exposed. Universe 25, they clone Tyrone, the biological and chemical attack on our whole biological makeup while we fantasize about being carbonated, watching fairy tales, allegories of these people come with false senses of God. And we have grown to hate God. How you going to hate yourself? How you going to hate who you are and who you fall under in this game we call life? Everybody want to be an American, and your dumb ass talking about you want to be in Africa way over there and ain't bust a grape. You ain't went over there one time. That's just hilarious to me. And then when you find out that all of these things was incorporated after the fall of World War II and the atomic bomb, death square. You dropped a bomb on me, you hit the dope. Press 1. That's what you did. You hit some LSD drugs, took your ass to another. You start dancing to the tune of the Pied Piper. That's it. The God's angels stop singing praises to the Lord and start giving praises to Sexy Red. Press 1. Facts. Pound Town. Just left Pound Town. Press 1. Facts. That's God waiting on you. Shh, that's cold when there's a responsibility on you like that. That's real shit. The truth, like I don't tell Deb to call in. I just bring these subjects up because Deb is older. She knows the Black Holocaust, the deal made for you to go off to war, Soul, Invectus, how you ended up black and dead in law and needed the Lloyds of London, a.k.a. Candace Owens' husbands and family, to reign over you. Press 1 as you commit crimes and be Democrats. And they going to talk down on you. This ain't got nothing to do with liberal or conservative, Democrat or Republican. This is right and wrong. They just, while you jumping from left one foot to another, Satan and them Lloyds of London laughing they motherfucking asses off. They go from Ukraine to Israel to this one. Now you fighting against, you scared of Israel. They got you debating if you support Israel, which is you. Fuck. Just turn the TV off, bro. Turn the TV off. Because I don't care about no Palestine. And I don't care about Israel over there, Israeli state. And I don't care about that stuff. That's not important to me. It felt good to say. Well, it's just not important. Them people over there all look the same. I don't know what you tripping off of. I don't even know why y'all let these celebrities have you choose sides. Like you been believing in God this whole time to even know about God's people. You sound ridiculous to be a black, but Floyd Mayweather is a German, so he got to be up under that code. See, but me, I'm a real African American though. Victorians, you can hear it in my spirit, but my care for justice and law. Press 1. And I'm from South Central. What? Stop it. We still don't do bad things, though. You feel me? So it's just a different, all of them, he got to do that. Huntage. Talk to them. They all monkey mind. They monkey minded. So they are Jews themselves. They fall under one banner. You feel me? They'll love to get one monkey a bunch of money. Press 1 and say, listen, we need you to do. They don't need Floyd to take no supplies. Well, they get such and such trillions of dollars of our tax earned money. If they ain't got no supplies stored up, what the fuck they doing with our money? Nah, fuck that. They ain't got no supplies stored up. They've been taking our money this whole time. What happened to the aid of Palestine? What's going on? Because we in prison. Our names is missing. We don't even know who our God is. Our names are nothing. Our whole heritage is rich. Don't none of y'all stand up for us. No, none of y'all give us that, come on, Black Lives Matter, help. Hulkamaniac spirit, bro. When we fall, y'all just be like, yeah, the black American lazy. Fuck you. Think you ever see these countries? Press 1. Fuck that. Fight back. I say whatever I want to because I'm on patreon.com/KevGillsTV. Hit that like button and subscribe. Georgia, you're on the air. What up?
Peace, Kev. It's Taj calling in from Atlanta.
And what's up, champion?
No, ain't much, bro. I just wanted to call in and touch on one of the questions that you had asked earlier.
Go ahead.
You asked who speaks for the dead person, and you also asked why they can't speak for themselves.
Go ahead.
And an attorney or a lawyer will speak for, you know what I mean, the person that can't speak for itself, that person that's under custodianship, or, you know, a person that's a minor and incompetent.
What is
and the reason that they can't speak.
Wait, before you get there. What is the association that's over them?
The Bar Association.
The Bar Association. So officially, they can't operate out. They can't even operate out the Supreme level and Supreme Court. They can't even talk Supreme Court because they what? They have. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're in maritime. They're in the water.
They're in the water. And in the water, what are they?
Well, they're serpents. For one thing, but they're lawyers. They're the ones they are the villains. They are the people that are under the stairs that came and took the sovereignty from the sovereign. Or Victorians, however you want to say it.
Both of them. Go ahead. So they're dead
yes,
at sea.
Sir.
So
yes.
they're lost and considered dead at sea by way of birth certificate, correct?
Yes, sir. And that ties into the SQA Trust. And that is how they're getting all this money to be able to fund all of these humanitarian efforts over in Gaza and Ukraine and everywhere, because they're tapping into that trust, and it really, to me, looks like they just rebuilding up these places that are in ruins.
And then they
just looking for.
And then they fighted them, and then say, "Oh, we got another humanitarian America. We need to tap into more trust." And you know how they do that? They balance that budget by sending niggas to jail because, you know, that's easy money. A crime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And every time that you interact with the law or the government in general,
yes,
you opening up a new QSIP number.
Yes.
And that QSIP number and them QSIP accounts.
Yes.
Like when they talk about the national debt, that's a drop in the bucket compared to what these QSIP numbers produce every day. Every day is billions, if not trillions of dollars being created, and that blows my mind.
Yes.
But hey, it is what it is.
So the loan is based off of these people and their children for an eternity by way of Liberty bonds. And the bank that's holding them captive is the Swiss banks under the Catholic Church.
Yeah. Basically, the Bank of International Settlement.
So the City of London, a.k.a. Bar Association, is handling us as we are minors and dead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's chattel.
Yeah, it's chattel. Yes. Go ahead. Whatever
hey,
else
Kev, can I speak on
whatever you want to. Go ahead, King. We all freestyling. We setting sail today. So go ahead. Right. You got the flow. Go ahead.
Cool deal. Cool deal. It's like if you reverse back just 100 years, it just everything is playing out the same exact way. Whether we're talking about the Liberty Loans Act moving up, and what I'm preparing for right now, with everything that's going on, is like something similar to the Dogs plan to try. Like that's where it seems like it's heading. And the reason I brought up the second Liberty Loans that act is because of that in its correspondence with crypto.
Yes. The
same way that they debased the money and made it worth less and crashed the market over here during the Great Depression.
Yes, sir.
Is the same thing that they're doing right now, and it's the same play that they ran during COVID.
Yes.
All the celebrities got up there and told you, hey, you need to hurry up and buy this crypto because this is the way that you're going to be able to make your money.
Yes.
And people put something in and got nothing out. And a lot of people got caught up in trouble with that stuff because the people are using that stuff for nefarious purposes.
Yes. Yes, sir. So you're excellent. Well said. So, tell me about Soul Invictus and the Statue of Liberty.
Woo! Soul Invictus. Okay.
Yes. You see. Listen. Hold up, Taj. Hold up. They heard the happiness in your voice. That nigga said, "Woo!" In his brain, in Taj's brain, he could have swore he was Michael Jackson at that moment. Go ahead, Taj.
But the devil has many names, and Soul Invictus is one of them, man.
Go ahead.
Another one is Misrod, and the reason I'm making that tie-in,
yes,
is tying into the Four Horsemen.
The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And that's exactly how they overcame the people.
Yes.
Is when you talk about starvation, when you talk about pestilence, when you talk about war,
chemical, biological warfare against our people in the early 1900s. Go ahead.
Yes, it still goes to this day. It's still going on to this day.
Which is against their own Geneva Conventions. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
They honestly, they could stand trial like under the Nuremberg. Under Nuremberg,
that's right, Taj.
Right, and it's the same thing that the people that control the media, along with the financial institutes, along with entertainment and everything, that's what they know, and that's why they try to keep us distracted. Because if we honestly understood what was happening to us and what's going on in Universe 25, as far as them poisoning us to and understanding what half lives of these chemicals and stuff like that is, so they know how much they can give it to a person so it can subtly kill them over time, or have them lose their mind.
Lose their mind or become...
Dropping the bomb on them.
Yes, sir. And they become... what happens in Universe 25 when these things happen? They click up, become criminals, become criminal rats and gangbangers and destroyers of whole blocks as we've been studying. And it's not. Is it the victim's fault? Talk to me, Taj.
No, it's not the victim's fault because they don't know any better. Insanity. They non-compos mentos, right?
Non-compos mental, not guilty by reason of insanity, because they are products of a nationwide government operation and a practice.
That's right.
It's almost an asylum, and we have a lot of people who are in dire need of psychology and mental evaluation, and so they can be free as well. Go ahead, King. Something just hit me right now. Go ahead.
No, it's like what you just now said. It just reminded me of the great poet, philosopher, let's say Tupac, when he said, "Please God, can you understand me? That's my family. Save us all before we fall into insanity."
Yes.
Bro, and like I ain't never understood that line until I got around a mind like yours, bro, and you helped me a lot in understanding what words actually mean, man. I appreciate that, bro.
I appreciate you for listening, champ. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It was something else. Oh, Kev, this is something I've been wanting to say. Because I was just looking for the right time, but it ties into like Reggie and Gene and all of them.
Go ahead.
You remember when we was talking about the Coda Mithras last year around Easter, and they had the picture of the culling of the bull.
Yes.
And you had the guy with the Taj hat, the Phrygian cap on, the Liberty, aka a Liberty cap. Going back to the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
But everything that all of these police forces that named after, whether they're the Vipers or the Red Dog, or, you know what I mean? All of that was in that picture, and it's showing the setup to be able to take the soul from the bull, the young bull.
The young bull. So it's a theft.
The young bull.
So it's a theft of the soul.
Yes.
Now, people got to grasp this because they be thinking allegorically some spiritual sense of a soul. Do you have an inclination on what that actually means? Go ahead, King.
It's the substance. It's what you are. Is what makes you up. It's your substance.
Now, look.
It's what you have.
Well,
what you
look.
have to. Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, bro. You thinking allegorically, Taj. Remember. Go. Where did I tell you to go? What dictionary? We're talking in law.
Webster.
So in the dictionary, shout out to Shiva, just sent me this. See how the world works? We're all in unison. Watch this one. Look at this. Soul.
Yes, sir.
In France, a small copper coin, a penny, sir.
The .001. Yes. Okay.
0.0001.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
on? Who's? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And
You got Abe Lincoln on the penny.
Who is the copper?
The copper man.
Oh my! Who's the copper colored people of the America? Come on, bro.
There's the Victorians
so
and the
now watch
Virginians,
this. Now
bro.
watch this. Who put us in slavery and the world think we brought out of slavery? Abraham Lincoln. Who faces on the penny?
Yeah. Abe Lincoln.
There go your Liberty Bond right there. Now, when said call,
He's letting you know what's going.
Said was 100% right when he said the penny is the most valuable coin on earth in the end time. He was absolutely. I wouldn't say nothing, but he was absolutely right. That's the only thing worth anything, what you invested in the whole world.
And that all goes back into like how they switched it out with the German silver, bro.
The German false. What was it? It was a fool's gold.
It's nickel. It's when they started mixing it, because all these guys are metallurgists. So all they do is work in
forge
like they're
metals.
like blacksmiths essentially.
They're forged metals.
Yeah, that's what they specialize in. And bro, it's so much I want to say right now because I got some exclusive type stuff,
okay.
but I don't.
Next. Don't worry about it. We gonna worry about it. Talk about it. Hit me on Discord and be like, Kev, on the next show, make sure we touch on this. Just gather your thoughts and we gonna touch on it. We got this.
My guy.
My man.
My God.
My man.
Bless.
Blesses. So we talking civil litter mortars. We're talking the black hand and not the security team. We're talking the black hand. And you want to know some spiritual shit? It's no wonder why we talking about civil litter mortars and the black grip and the death grip that the state has over you. And the security teams that killed Tupac and Biggie that they're talking about right now. And not saying Black Hand did it, but I'm just saying, like, damn, what are the odds? It's in the air, just like Reggie White, whatever his name is. So remember, we're talking about the initial investment in building up Europe. We built Europe. We built Europe. There is no Europe without the investment that our forefathers made with them. They're here by way of contract. They invaded this whole nation by way of international corporation, which is illegal because corporations cannot own anything under your law. Do you know that? Under your law, yours, they can't own anything. It's impossible. That's how powerful your name is. On some reverse Malcolm X shit, that's how powerful your name is. And as a collective, that's how powerful it is. No other nation on the earth has a name as powerful as your God, the father of this nation, you and your descendants. Nobody can even own anything in your right state of mind. If you come up out the mental asylum, this movie called Us, this asylum that we're living, that we think is entertainment, but it's really for sick people in a hospice, that's you. You, that little girl and a little boy in a hospice looking at the World's Fair, which is really an asylum. Press 1. You got to think out. You got to get out. Get out of the hypnotism that they placed you in because you're dealing with the scriptures called Balaam, Bazaar, fucking genie type black magic. by way of media in Hollywood. You go to Disney, you like Disney. Disney is an invading army by way of international corporations. That's not a Disney World. That's a foreign nation who has more sovereignty over you than you do in real life. You don't know this, but there's a Walt Disney fire department in the police station, in the jail, and workers too. They bosses is Mickey Mouse in real life. Because you think life is a game and you don't believe in God, you don't even know this is a carnival. You supposed to be believing in God and thanking King George and them for this freedom. God bless American freedom. And your ass is over here don't gave your sovereignty to Walter Plecker, a.k.a. Mickey Mouse. Disney, with their psychotrauma machine you call the black box or the cube, Death Square, in which you reenact what you see on TV. What old boy say back in the day, by God, people, y'all the real thing, we not. And they got you trapped in that, but that's okay though. The Black Holocaust gonna wake your crazy self up. And I need you to understand, our people went through a Holocaust. Yo, university even said it. And you gotta understand what a Holocaust is and erase that other stuff in your brain. You know that's not illegal to do, to not believe them. I don't believe nothing but WWF when Stone Cold versus The Rock. Press one, I don't believe it. Press all that other shit. You have to know what Taj mentioned, the Sesquive Trust, and why they stole the soul or the heart of the people of God, the crown jewels, the philosopher's stone, the capstone, the heir, the proper bull, not the Papa bull, the young child born in this world that belongs to, that's the whole Jesus conception there. That's what but you don't know that. You know why? Because you let these witches and warlocks of black magic of the Far East trick you into thinking you're a mystic, that you're a witch, and got you participating in necromancy, asking dead people the future, like it's gonna add up. All the women of Israel are known practitioners of the craft, which is insane. And them the one who told me about the Bible. Press one. Oh, did they have a rude awakening now? Press one. Should have never gave me this. So knowing that, and knowing that this gonna offend a lot of y'all, is just what it is. Hopefully you can find equal, debate or something, but there is no debate. You was forced into taking the literal law of God that established this land in which you was created from, never to be tethered away off laws that no goddamn see. You understand? But you don't believe because you don't know your history. That's all. You just don't know your history. If you knew your history correctly, you would know why God told you don't go off worshiping other gods for liberty. Press one. Now, anybody know what Soul Invictus is? I'm still going off of Soul Invictus. I'm ready to go. What is this? My man said Mithra. What is this? What is going on here? See, y'all don't even know. I didn't even know things that I know now about the Statue of Liberty. There's a lot of things I didn't know. Hit the like button and subscribe. From Ellis Island to how it even smelled. Yep. Press one. Uh-oh. To how it even smelled is what I said. I'll just take my time. It's all good now. We smooth cruising to how it even smelled. See, this is a great time to be alive because a lot of people don't even know it's a black Holocaust. They didn't even know. And that's cool. I didn't know. I didn't know we was going to start thinking of this. And shit. It actually come to pass. Let me try to find this video real quick on my... Now look at this. This is going to hurt you right here. This one you should be paying attention to. All the proofs that we going to be giving is going to fortify. You ain't from Africa? Press 1. They voted to send you to Africa. Press 1. Y'all ready? Now watch this one. This is 1922, y'all. Okay? When y'all get out of class today, you're going to be a lot smarter than you was before you came in this mug.
In 1922, the Mississippi State Senate voted to send all the state's black residents to Africa. The Senate voted 25-9 to ask the federal government to trade some of the World War I debts owed by European countries for...
I just told you. I didn't even see this. Trade for the government's debt.
A piece of colonial Africa.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Any part would do, where the government would then ship Mississippi's black residents, creating a final home for the American Negro.
In
What
Iberia.
opposition there was to the proposal in the all-white Mississippi legislature came not from people who believed in racial equality, but from plantation owners who feared losing their cheap,
Boom.
brutalized labor force, even though the resolution passed.
In order to get back, they had to pay their own fare, remember? The American penny, the sacrifice. Remember Theodore Roosevelt? All right, we'll bring your Americans back. We'll bring your boys back, but they got to pay after the destruction. How we got to pay and y'all owe us? But our boys was lost in Africa. Liberia, Morocco. They was taken captive by nigga. You ain't come from Africa, bro. You came from Africa back home. Because Theodore Roosevelt and them hijacked your soldiers.
Mississippi State Senate, it did not pass House of Representatives, voting the resolution down 40-32. Most of the chamber's debate over the bill has been lost to history.
Now, watch this. American Museum of Natural History returned thousands of stolen skeletons claiming racist practices, grave robbing indigenous black people. Wow. This is important. I don't have to read it because y'all know it's here. Remember these bones? Okay? Didn't I tell you? It's all about skulls and what? Bones. That's the big hush hush. Shh. They genocided you. The Black Holocaust is you. The Holocaust. Listen, they identified the Holocaust with God's people because it's true. When Jewish people come over here, they don't have Holocaust names and German names. They got American names, English names, like you. That's not their name. They're here by way of a trust. You granted. This is what happened. So let me explain to you what you're looking at. These bones, okay, are indigenous black people. Meaning indigenous mean organic. And if they don't want to say organic, because that goes back to the initial burning of what's important. At a point, the initial burning and it's important. Millions of people were exterminated. 12 to who knows how many of our forefathers was put inside. Everything you thought about that Holocaust over there happened to you right here in America. And you were oh my goodness, I can't even say it all because it's almost unbearable when you think about it. And I had to sit back a couple of days and say, wow, And when you hear these stories about buffalo soldiers, this is an invading enemy army. There weren't real buffaloes that was murdered in the Indian times. The only buffaloes that was murdered was black men and women. They changed you out for animals and like stories of legend when it really happened to you in real life. And you got to come out of your mental entertainment asylum and know your history. And it's not a Wakanda outfit. It's you gonna know why God favors you. You gonna know. That's gonna be the most important thing you know. Is damn. How did they perform a grand ritual right in front of y'all faces? Press 1. Everything you see, every piece of thing in here but these human beings is bones. I want you to human bones. I want you to know this. All right? Human bones. Not fake, not nothing. This is the great skull and bone secret. Okay? When you watch the Django and they cross the bones, it's when they conquered you. All this is at the furnace. This is after the destruction. Okay? All you see them hats? One cowboy, you would think is a Mexican right now. A couple Turks. See them hats? That's not way back in the 1700, okay? This is recent. This is why you don't have nothing in the world, because the whole nations came against you by way of the federal government and the United Nations. That's all of them. 50 nations came and set and caused you to go to Africa after and look at this. I just want you to know, just look at it. So you can think everybody is your friend. Everybody ain't your friend. And nobody wants to see you wake up to where these locations even are. These locations, y'all see them inside of a situation. They're inside of a mass Kaaba ritualistic circle Saturn Kaaba stone. This was the original Holocaust. That's what everybody worshiped. Allah, the black stone, or the black star, or the black sun. Yeah, they go in circles. This would symbolize Jupiter, outer space. If you look at this sacrificial pit from afar, they might have placed the Statue of Liberty or Rome right on top of this. They may have built Rome and the motherfucking Statue of Liberty on top of this. And these are small people. Look on the back walls. Those are all bones. The middle pit, that's all bones. It's important you understand that. They needed your estate for everybody can come claim these names. Your forefathers who went to war and never came back, they all died at sea. Holocaust. That's what they're eating off the pensions of your initial sacrifice. Do you understand that? Okay, your forefathers fought in World War I and II, the Great War and all this. That's your pension. That's your reparation. That is yours, sons of Israel, like that, because it goes to the sons, and the daughters of Israel must turn back to their order. But the initial war people who went off. That's why none of our people came back from war. All of our people died at sea. After they died, hellfighters and all that, they brought this here. All of them. Germans, Russians, Polish, they was all over there fighting after your sacrifice and your investment in them. And then what did they do? They sent, instead of paying you back, they developed Israel and are the United Nations, in which they all take part off of stealing from you and your forefathers. They're all foreigners. It's like the world fairs. If y'all all a part of the United Nations, why are y'all fighting? Why don't y'all just go home? United Nations is the political front of Disney World. international corporations, the mouthpiece of it. That's why they're here by contract. They need to keep, we having a G7 and a G5 summit, and black folks just be, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world, man. Vladimir Putin, and all of them are in the same boat. The dying federal government. Oh, it's sinking fast. How do we get our trust back at work? Sean, I don't answer questions like that, player. You got to call it in. You keep asking questions and simple, basic things because of the wants and needs from your own heart. Call it in or don't speak at all. Who is we, Sean? You, who said you got anything, Sean? I don't know you, Sean. Who are you? You afraid to call in and fight against, if you couldn't throw a piece of paper, you wouldn't do it. What are you worth, Sean? Where the camera at? Sean, what are you worth? What do you think? What do you deserve? What do you think you deserve, Sean? You won't even voice your opinion on these thoughts. Only thing you want to know is, well, how do we get these back since people, you may not even be in that lineage that has anything coming but a resume on your, you get your DNA come back, is you from a whole different place, champ. What I'm talking about is not materialistic, champ. Don't even set your mind on something that's not yours anyway. Don't do bad things. You work for it. What the hell are you talking about? You got a lot of people from a whole different nation talking about reparations for black people, and they ain't even from here. So let's not talk about how do we get our trust back as if you won't even bust a grape. You won't even throw a kite, a pacifier, or a bottle at your enemy. You just press what? You heard Deb. Sean, don't type in my chat no more. You heard Deb, champ. Yeah, she's serious. Deb didn't come on here for you to ask dumb questions. I'm glad you answered. I'm glad you typed that just so I can see you. We're not doing that. How do I get more fiat? That's all he asking. How do I win? He ain't believed in God not one time probably. He don't even know what's going on. He just, well, how do we get something? Sit down. I ain't got nothing more than what I work for. Press 1. Shout out to the people who contribute to this page. Press 1. Hit the like button. I got to do my shout outs in the middle of class because y'all are a blessing. Shout out to TC for that donation, that contribution to this program. Bocat 803. Shout out to my man. Betty Hampton says, I'm in. Mr. Ibram, shout out to you and that contribution. Water World, Brian King, Jason Harris, Cedric Jefferson, Paul Hamilton, and Bobby Williams, Fletcher Barkley. Shout out to y'all in this program today on this network. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I got to show this because people got to wake up. People got to wake up. When you dealing with mass extermination, yeah, I think they would have did that. Yeah. See, y'all got to understand what I meant by that. I'm going to help you out, though. I ain't tripping. I'm still waiting on my students, though. I'm still waiting on the men at the row. Y'all be sitting around pressing 1 and shit. No, brother. You about to get... Where Ollie go? Ollie ain't at work today. Press 1. Ollie ain't at work today. They bullshitting. Ollie bullshitting. We on fire right now. It's like 120 degrees out here. KevRow University, you on the air. What up?
How you doing, Professor? This is Brian King.
My man.
I was just calling in. Yes, sir. I was just calling in on the Sol Invictus. I think that was one of the questions of what it was. I just don't know if someone brought up this part of it.
Go ahead.
So I seen that when I was looking at the research, I didn't know that the Sol Invictus was the Statue of Liberty. It's literally. So basically, we got the Statue of Liberty is nothing but a big old statue of their sun god.
Which is?
And that's crazy because, I'm sorry?
And who is their sun god? Sol Invictus? Look at Ollie cracking up. Look at Ollie. Ollie always going, you know I'm at work, can't leave the fuck alone. So Sol Invictus, the actual image of the sun with the Greek god Sol Invictus or whatnot, that will be them worshiping the sun in this manner, copying the Bible and introducing
of the original sun.
Yes,
right.
Of the original sun. So they've taken what's natural and made an allegorical myth out of it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what I thought was interesting on it was the fact that also, the Statue of Liberty is right there on Ellis Island, the same big place that all the immigrants was coming through from. So it's like they see their big old statue as they was coming over here, as what they believe in. So then I did a little research on the Nazis and their belief into the sun god.
Okay.
And because it's all tying back to around this time, this is what these people believe in, their sun god. They're all one of the same. We just talked about the dogs playing with France and Germany.
Yes.
It's crazy that France gifted so-called the United States the Statue of Liberty in 1886.
Yes.
As an alliance that they said that they were making with the United States. And then it got me thinking about the man in the high castle.
Yes.
As they really won a war, that makes a lot more sense of why they even had that statue put up at the time that they had it put up.
The statue is equivalent to the Trojan horse.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And it was originally made out of copper, too.
Yes, sir. That's because it signified the copper man and woman.
Yes, sir.
Yes. It was a coup d'etat in real life. No cowboy and Indian, sir. This was real, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So I thought that was interesting. And then I just went on a little research, and I was saying how the Sol Invictus, the sun god worship, that is where they get the December 25th from.
That's right. So Sol Invictus, the false Christ, that's the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, sir.
Now go ahead.
Yeah.
Now what do you think about that? That's Satan. That's the devil.
Yes, 100%.
That's the light bringer.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Magic trick though. Watch this one. When they worship Baal, what makes the eyes and the smoke light up like that? What were they doing?
They was burning.
Burning what?
They was burning organic flesh.
That's
right.
They were throwing real people in there.
Now it say that I just had this stuff where they did rituals all the time. They had this this place where they'd go do rituals, and it was the basically the way that they had it set up was to be resembling a torso. And I said the torso, that's like the abdomen, area. Right? It got me thinking about the womb. The womb. It got me thinking about the womb as well, like the attack on the womb, right? And where would a child be born at in a womb? And they was talking about how Hitler used to have to jump over fires, and how they had to, even like they said, the swastika was actually a symbol of the sun.
Yes.
Because it was the 4 seasons, which is the 4 little arms that they have, and then it's pointing at the, yes, sir.
So again, Sol Invictus, the Japanese flags, the head of Sol Invictus, the black sun.
Yes, sir. And then another thing I was looking at was, it says that, I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to find it. It says that they held the ancient German tribes, and they're talking about the Nazis here, that they held the ancient German tribes have seen these as manifestations of God, the sun, for example, being the watchful eye of Wotan, Wotan,
Yes.
which awoke life and everything earthly. So that Wotan is like, so I looked up what Wotan was, and they said it also is Woden, the supreme God and creator, God of victory and dead. Wednesday is named after him. So I said, Wednesday, what's so special about
now,
Wednesday?
Wait a
Then
minute.
I thought about
Wait a minute.
Ash Wednesday.
Now, wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Let's start over because that's going to be the cross. That's going to be the cube. That's going to be everything you're looking for. Take it slow. Say it again.
So it said that they said that this is the beliefs of German tribes, the Nazis. This is what they was about. They worshipped and believed in Woden, which is the watchful eye.
Yes.
And they claim that watchful eye, Woden, is the one who awoke life in everything earthly.
Yes.
So I looked up what Wotan, Woden means, and it's another name for Odin, Odin,
Odin.
or Woden. Yes, sir.
So Odin
And
is
that's
the god of what? What is Odin? Is that the god of the
supreme
dead?
God and creator? Yeah, the dead. Yes, sir. And Wednesday is
So
actually named after him.
Odin is the Undertaker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's the guy with the sickle. Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So they really worship Odin.
Right. And they said Wednesday is named after him. That's why they all take up Ash Wednesday.
And
they
get the mark in their head and their right hand.
Yes, sir.
That's the mark
That's
of
right.
the beast.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And so the beast is the god of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so
which is named after Wednesday, which is why it's Ash Wednesday.
Now watch this one. The god of the dead in of old is who?
That's
Ptah.
Ptah. Dang.
That's Catholic.
Yep.
Back to Peter, but then that's Egyptian. Ptah.
Ain't that yeah, yes sir.
So they all worship the same thing. The death. Odin.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the Bible says that sin is the last what? The last sin to be defeated is what?
Is that
death.
was the first?
It's death.
It's death.
It's death.
Yes, sir.
Who's death? Who God is the God of death? Who is that? Who God is that? That's the world. That's the world. That's the God of the world.
That's all of them, right?
That's everybody
right.
but
yes,
you.
Sir.
You God of Scripture,
right?
Tied to the land. There is the devil, the God of death, Odin, that old serpent.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
That's where they get that little mysticism, witch hat from, and all that. Well, we was talking about the Liberty Cap and all that. The Serapis flag, that's all that, bro. Under maritime, these are friends. These gods are of wood and stone that the Bible speak of. They can't save them in the day of the Lord. None of them gods can help them when law is applied.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that goes back to Saturn. Is Odin the god of death? So he's the bone collector. He's
right.
That's who you make a deal with to save your what? Soul.
Your soul. Yes, sir.
Soul Invectus. Damn.
Yes, sir.
So sesquive must be applied.
Right.
Why?
so that they can be the administrators. They can be in control.
Can a dead man be in control of a living man? That's a question for Forrest Glory. She's a legal person. It's impossible. That's why the banks
It's
and the
impossible,
corporations.
but I think.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, person and law, how they got it is could be a corporation, a trust, an estate, a different thing, but it's not a natural living person.
That's right.
So technically, I would think they got it where a dead state can control a natural living person.
Of course,
but,
because they believe they've accepted that they're
they
dead. They're black. They're black.
Right.
And they're lost at sea, given the power of the God of the sea power over them.
Right. That's really why we need seeing it again, why you need a redeemer.
Yeah, because a salvager, redeemer, advocate.
Yeah.
Because you're lost at sea in Wonderland as an infant or a toddler for the rest of your life. And you wonder why they built Dubai off in your name. It's somebody who owned Dubai is probably a black person in the middle of nowhere sitting in jail some damn where. Go ahead, man.
Right.
So everybody's dead.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so it takes a person that's alive to redeem who?
The dead.
Do they got enough to redeem themselves?
No.
How much do they got? How much money do they got?
Nothing.
So when the dude said, "How do I get my trust back?" Can he?
No. You're gonna be playing the same games that lady was playing, kept on trying to sit it in, and ain't nothing happening. It's not gonna happen. And they might catch themselves digging a deeper hole for themselves, playing around, not knowing what they're doing. So
fuck around with Dan Calloway and find themselves over in Somalia somewhere as a citizen, fucking around.
Right. Trying to claim you a Native American, which is just part of the government, the federal, and all that other type of stuff.
They're going to say, good, because we sending them back to Asia right now. Get your ass on this bus. No, I'm from Philadelphia. No, you're not. No, you gave up your sovereignty with Brother Polite and Young Pharaoh. Get your ass on this bus. You're going back to China. You're coming with us. We finna rebuild Africa again like we used to. Come on, buddy. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that was it, sir. I just wanted to answer that question for you. I'm watching. I'm gonna be sitting back watching it.
So they all believers in Odin, which is a German god. Thank you so much, Brian King.
Yes, sir. Nice talking to you.
Man, it's always a pleasure. Shout out to Brian. What a day. What a day, yay. 424, before I play this video, does anybody got something to say? 424-209-9506. Area code 424-209 as we move along in this show. I'm ready to go. Okay, I saw what you just posted, She says, it says here in Corinthians 22, for as in Adam all die, even so in Christ shall all be made alive. For as in Adam all die, just as everyone. For sure, this is what I was talking about, the death of Adam and the resurrection of Christ. See, Christ died so that ye may be made alive. Press one. That's why it's so important that you know what in Christ is and why he died for you. So that when he returns, you can be claimed because you cannot ransom yourself. You are property of soul invector, your soul. You need the baptism. You need to take your allegorical, because you don't know. But your forefathers went through the belly of the beast, which is soul invectus, a.k.a. the Statue of Liberty, a.k.a. the portal in. Hit that like button and subscribe. We studying that. The portal, Janus, the Washington Monument right there, the gateway. Come on, talk that shit, Kev. Let's go, George. Press 1. And we step our bars all the way up. When it comes to this teaching shit, when it comes to bars, and I'm the murder mook of this shit. Them niggas be just running their mouth and their brains and their lips be flapping. Me, these words that create theatrical imagery in your brain so you can see how good God is to us in the past and why we in this position we call ourselves black today, and why everybody is eating off our names and you want to be from Wakanda, which is only in South Carolina somewhere. That's in America too. Egypt and all that was destroyed. The way Satan and them think, my God kicked their God ass. In fact, my God has a biblical scripture that Jesus, the Son, was going to do what? The S-O-N, not the S-U-N. Press 1, not the S-U-N. They don't believe in the S-O-N. They too busy believing in the Son. Press 1. They don't know about the natural. They couldn't wait. They ain't got no patience. Patience, you feel me? Ain't got no patience. They just stupid. They rather give up. It's cooler to be a goat, to be a living goat, to worship the Satan type of stuff. It's easy to do that. That path is wide open. Hit that like button. It's hard disciplining yourself and having a mental and a spiritual discipline over your fleshly self and have appreciation for a God you can't even see outside of yourself. That's why Jesus say, deny yourself and follow me. Come out of the I am God complex and come into self-denial and praise God that you ain't did none of this. So that's what's important. That's what I do. Shout out to y'all. Hit that like button and subscribe. And you can't hate me for coming out of my mental slump and slumber and sleep to be more in tune with my spiritual self, just as I'm in tune with my earthly self. Press 1 is just as real. That's why I keep telling people, y'all better stop leaving people who's spiritually anointed alone. Don't make me do it. Just leave them alone, bro. Hit that like button and subscribe. So we finna take this back. I'm finna show you. Nobody else show y'all stuff like this. You was in the Holocaust. I'm finna show you Ellis Island. And guess what? Get you first-hand account for what they saw and what they were smelling in this short documentary here. And it's going to encourage you to do your own research, because the research ain't there. You got to watch the boring shit to learn something. The shit that I know, it ain't coming with MC Hammer and Plies, and no entertainer is endorsing this thought process. In fact, they going to stand far back from me because I'm just, you know, now is us. But check this out, y'all. This is very incredible. I hope y'all pay attention. Press 1 and get the logistics of what's being said here. Shout out to the people who are no longer with us but made this audio.
Aspectos plus difficiles de la construction étaient le piédestal, que le statut soit destiné à être un cadeau. L'ambassadeur des États-Unis nous a exhortés à suivre les démons du président Trump. Nous avons accepté l'échappement. Nous avons reçu des exigences de taille variable pour le piédestal. Après 4 ans de demander des modifications de la taille du piédestal pour cesser. Les gens se demandent pourquoi le piédestal est tellement plus grand que le dame. Tout ce que je le dis.
People wonder why the pedestal is so much taller than the lady. All I tell them is, Ask the Americans. Press 1. Whoa. Whoa. Because it's a building. That's why. That's why. It's more than just that statue. That's why. Why is this thing bigger than... Press 1.
Demandez aux Américains.
It was classified for 36 years. STLI 18084. Provide entrance for sustenance, install engine to assist with eventual departure. That looked like a whole chemistry set. Nigga, that looked like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. That looked like a whole oiler, a whole oil, Lord have mercy. And so we got engines and what else? Oh yeah, that opens up. I just want to let you know. Look at this. Is that a trap door down here? Hold up. Hold the fuck up. I just saw this right now. I didn't even see this at first. Wait a minute. Is that a fucking trap door coming down them stairs like that? I was like, well, where would what's the name come out from? Shit. Right there. Drop their ass right up in that ooze. Right there in the engine, which would be the boiler. Skin and bone. Fact, you come right in, come down the stairs, and you going to like jail, to hell. The bottomless what? Hold up. We gonna touch on that in a minute. I'm gonna let it play. Drain. Waste storage. Waste storage. And this is over there. Okay, let's rewind a little bit so you can get a clear view. Okay, stairs, trap doors. Look. That's just the beginning. During the summer of the 1954, thousands of immigrants described a foul odor while passing through Ellis Island. Watch this.
Ellis Island era orribile. L'intero posto puzzava di carne.
Ellis Island was awful, this my little Jewish French lady said. The whole place reeked of flesh, like a slaughterhouse. Now wait a minute. Hold up.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Oh my goodness. Like a slaughterhouse is what she said. It stink like human flesh. That's what it smelled like. It smelled like awful. And it was real stinky, like human flesh reeked from this slaughterhouse. In the words of Gene Deal, go ahead.
L'intero posto puzzava di carne, come un mattatoio. C'erano anche uccelli morti
There were
ovunque.
also dead birds everywhere. My sister even found one in the toilet. That means that's how congested. The air wasn't even clean. The air wasn't even clean. Come on.
E mia sorella ne trovò persino uno nel gabinetto. Se già la costa è così, diceva mio padre, Immaginate quanto puzzeranno le città.
Look how bad the city
Ricordo di aver
smelled.
sentito altre
I
famiglie
remember
dire questo
families saying they wanted to go back to Milan because of the smell.
spirituosamente che volessero tornare a Milano per via dell'odore. La mia famiglia aveva spruzzato profumo.
My family sprayed perfume and burned candles to keep the stench away, but it only worked for about an hour. And after that, the air became unbearable again.
Ho acceso candele per tenere lontano il fetore, ma funzionava solo per un'ora o giù di lì, finché l'aria diventava di nuovo insopportabile. Le serate erano così calde. Rimasi per lo più sveglia, anche se il resto della mia famiglia dormiva profondamente. Ricordo che guardavo fuori dalla finestra ogni notte e vedevo figli.
I remember looking out the window each night and seeing lines of people being led to the Liberty State statue by officials. Huh?
Di persone che venivano condotte alla Statua della Libertà dai funzionari. Se solo fossero saliti
After they were going to the pedestal, the officials will leave and nothing else will happen.
Not like this.
Oh my goodness.
Not like this.
I'm sorry, family, to wake y'all up, but if you can notice, the Statue of Liberty is nothing more than a big Baal statue. Go ahead.
stallo. I funzionari se ne
This is a
sarebbero
witness. This ain't a fucking no person who's just talking on the internet. This is an eyewitness.
andati e non sarebbe successo nient'altro. La mattina seguente però ci sarebbe stata una
Oh, and
vera
the following morning it would smell so much worse. Meaning that was the Holocaust. They was burning them up. They was burning them up. Press 1. Moloch furnace. Look, easy work. Easy work. Wait till you find out. This semester, why they, who, what, where, when, and why, you're going to be able to break it down. This is too easy.
fare come un mattatoio.
Allen Iverson closed after the Holocaust. Press 1. Once more again. One more time.
Aspetto più difficile della costruzione del piedestal, que le statue soit destinée à être un cadeau. L'ambassadeur des États-Unis nous a exhorté à suivre les démons du président Trump. Nous avons accepté l'échappement. Nous avons reçu des exigences de taille variable pour le piédestal. Après 4 ans de demander des modifications de la taille du piédestal pour cesser. Les gens se demandent pourquoi le piédestal est tellement plus grand que les dames. Tout ce que je leur dis, c'est demander aux Américains.
Did they ever come out of here? No. If you go all the way up to the eyes, whenever there's a burning, the eyes light up and the flame light up, the eternal flame.
Ellie Island era orribile. L'intero posto puzzava di carne, come un mattatoio. C'erano anche uccelli morti ovunque e mia sorella ne trovò persino uno nel gabinetto. Se già la costa è così, diceva mio padre, immaginate quanto puzzeranno le città. Ricordo di aver sentito altre famiglie dire quasi scherzosamente che volessero tornare a Milano per via dell'odore. La mia famiglia aveva spruzzato profumo e acceso candele per tenere lontano il fedore, ma funzionava solo per un'ora.
Remember I asked y'all, where did all the black people go? Where? What happened? All the black people. All the black people were exterminated, is what they said. They was put, in my opinion, the greatest story never told is the the African American Holocaust. Hit the like button and subscribe. It's not on. The African American Holocaust is hidden from you because the Holocaust is significant and specific to God's people. Do you understand that? See, the Jews over there, they brought Baal over here. They was worshiping the bull and the Papa bull and the Orthodox and all of this. That's them. They are the wolves in sheep clothing because they have cloaked themselves in your garments and your priestly garments. Because I'm not saying all of y'all are priests. What I'm saying is in your forefathers' garments and took their names. And these are worshipers of the black cube. The Jews are no different than the Muslims, people, the Arabs over there. They all worship the Kaaba, or the black cube, or Saturn, which is death square. Once again.
O giù di lì, finché l'aria diventava di nuovo insopportabile. Le serate erano così calde. Rimasi per lo più sveglia, anche se il resto della mia famiglia dormiva profondamente. Ricordo che guardavo fuori dalla finestra ogni notte e vedevo file di persone che venivano condotte alla Statua della Libertà dai funzionari. Se solo fossero saliti sul piedistallo, i funzionari se ne sarebbero andati e non sarebbe successo nient'altro. La mattina seguente però ci sarebbe stato un odore peggiore, come un mattatoio.
Okay, so you're going to have to be able to break down how did they convince black people to go down and give everybody else their sovereignty. What happened? Okay, and we're going to talk about the Ethiopian war with the false Brits, which gave legitimacy that got you signed up to war to go again too. We're going to explain all that. I'm going to explain how the Confederates and the Black French are also in bed with not all Black French and nothing like that. I'm talking about the ones that was around with Margaret Sanger and the extermination of our race and the whole racial cleansing process. And how did they get you off the land? The Black Star Line. Remember, if you signed up for the Black Star Line, you was leaving at that time through Ellis Island. You was getting up out of here. They was sending y'all to Africa, sending y'all to Morocco. He's good friends with Walter Plecker, who stole your birthright, who put you on a Dawes plan, who put you on a Dawes roll, who stole your heritage. Marcus Garvey and the leaders these are your leaders that they gave you. There's no such thing as a real Jamaican. Everybody's property of the king like that. These are all incorporated states to steal the one estate in which we all fall under. In God we trust. So when that guy said, how do we get our trust back? It's not yours. You don't even understand what God is or how wheels work. Oh my goodness. That was brilliant. I said that. That was awesome. So this ain't a diss towards nobody. But it's time to tell the truth about what happened to us so that we begin to change and see ourselves in the world in different. Listen, you don't know nothing. Okay? I'm gonna prove to you Albert Einstein is Walt Disney. Walt Disney is Tesla, and Tesla is Amor. Press is a servant of the Pope. Press, I'm gonna talk about how Woodrow Wilson is actually Pope. We gonna talk about how you have nothing but Nazis over you since the invasion, while you think the total opposite, and you thought you was conscious. You thought you was woke with your pineal gland open. No, your seat of the soul was open to Saturn and Sol Invectus and Thoth and all of these false pretense. There is no redemption under those gods. There is no covenant of the Lord for them. The Bible scripture, there is no kingdom of heaven for those type of individuals. That doesn't line up with what they got. Their only kingdom of heaven is to die and come back as a fucking slave. And that was the initial deal when you start believing in ancient gods that the Bible told you not to do. You're supposed to believe in the law. You're supposed to be an orchestrator of the law. They even say in the Bible that Judah is the lawgiver, not sitting on corners telling women what to dress and how to look. In the law. In the law. But niggas don't know the law. Niggas would be a Hebrew on the street wearing combat boots and be a criminal tomorrow and be in a federal penitentiary talking about just when it's a bunch of them type of people in hell. Press 1. Facts. They ain't nothing but Saturn worshipers of the Kabbalah and Kabbalah as well. This is too easy. I'm like Lil Wayne right now. I took 2 breaths and all of this came out. Press 1. Hit the like button and subscribe. 2 breaths. This is easy. So, why in our minds when we see the Baal worship and they throw the people in there, they just turn around like it's nothing. Next. That's what I believe they were doing in our Holocaust, removing us. I don't think our boys never made it to war. I don't think our boys ever made the land. I think they snatched their names right there. My man said was talking about, and Deb was talking about the T.A. Gillespie plant, the big explosion, the dropping of the bomb, the atom bomb, Oppenheimer, and the praising of the destruction and of Earth, because that is the black sun. The atom bomb is the Big Bang. You believe in that? You believe in death. Facts. Their ultimate goal is Oppenheimer. And y'all sitting around being entertained by their celebrities and not questioning and observing and paying attention. You're going to wind up in the Holocaust. A real burning by a limited few who came against you. You know what it's going to say about you in history? You had a chance to fight back and voice. It say, if my people cry out to me, you had a chance to. And you know what you had to do? You had to go to work, Ali. Press 1. I know Ali just. That's the first person I thought of. They're going to say, Ali going to say, man, I was about to press 1. But I had to, I was at work. Press 1. You know what they're going to say? Marley, why didn't you say nothing on the airwaves? All you needed to do was use your brain and your vocal cords. Marley gonna say, sir, I was riding my bicycle on the beach with my dreadlocks blowing in the wind, and I was just about to press 1. Oh, press 1. Hit the like button. Hey, Brian, I'm retarded. You don't call D-Jack, and D-Jack gonna pretend, I was feeding the dogs. I got a bunch of them. Press 1. Why wasn't you helpful in this great battle? I'm telling you, if the United States General Flynn said this is the battle of the mind, what the fuck is you so scared of? Nigga, we'd fight wars in 2023 on PC military simulated video games. What the fuck is y'all doing? Sitting around watching Pound Town. Just left Pound Town. Once again. Joke, no joke. Press button. You're so easily distracted. Don't worry. Channel 54 live and direct tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time right here. But at some point in time, you got to, display what you know. Put it on wax, Shout out to the people who contribute to this truth right here on KevRow University, Channel 54, of course. I wouldn't want to do nothing better than solve the mysteries of life. How did somebody got to explain why we ain't got shit, right? How are they finding bones in different parts of the world? Look how this looked. Look how dingy these pictures look. So foggy and stinky. What was they using to destroy things on their ships? We're going to get to all that. We're going to get to all that. How did the Nazis win World War II, World War I and II? Whose trust did they steal? What is Mithra? The soul Invectus god. Let's take a look. Because these brothers acting like they sleep. Press 1. These people, told you.
That they...
Y'all acting like Mithra. Y'all acting like y'all scared. Press 1. I told you. I'm going to tear y'all ass up right now. Pause. Time to put this work in. You heard? Make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you can, hit that Cash App. My cash tag is Gills Gang. If you want to call in, right now is the time to do so. We finna give you the work. KevRow University. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up? This is Kevin calling from California.
What up, champ?
Hey, what's up, man? You know what I find disturbing about the lady who was on the video and she's talking about the stench of the bodies and all that?
The what?
She didn't even question what it was about.
She wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. It's what's so disturbing about it. They all around here just living and they know what's going on.
Hell yeah.
But they don't have any remorse for what they did. They sitting around here in their little nice houses and trucks and don't have no regard for anything that happened in the past. That's disturbing.
So what's disturbing about it?
Is that it's so liberal nowadays. Like even when you go try, when you're in the nice neighborhoods and everything, you see that they didn't triple the rent in the nice neighborhoods, and then in the Universe 25 neighborhoods, it's all cheap, and that's where they want us at. You know what I mean? This is.
So how do we fix this?
We fix this by being upright, by following God, speaking up.
Yes.
Just doing the right thing and staying, humble and in the word, for real.
Is it written that our Father will place a foreign god over us that would match this to a T?
Yep.
Because of what? Why would God do this to us? Why is it written that this would happen to us?
Because we have not followed his instructions or his words. If we follow his laws and his commandments, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. And I guess you have to test Adam, and Adam has to come out of it somehow, some way.
Yes, sir.
Well,
but
yeah, that's what
thank you for the call. Only way I know how is to speak up. You fight truth to power. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Man, and
thank you, Gav.
Man, thank you, champ, my man. And that's what's important. You have to be able to speak up. Tomorrow, our channel can blow up, right? With the other show, Coffee and Kush TV, where I'm recording this for. And we'll get lost in the wind. Don't wait till we grow into big channel to take part in these conversations and get to know Kev. Art. Tell him, Art, don't wait till Kev fucking around and fucking like right now where life is really on his side and then be like, oh, I knew Kev. No, bro. Know me right now. Because as we taking this shit to a whole nother level. Shout out to my man Art Jordan. Go over to Instagram and sign up. If y'all didn't know, he creates all of the templates to this program to give us a better template on a relatable base. And you got to accept that. You got to love that. Go over there and sign up on Instagram to my man, Art. Easy taught me. Just put it in your Instagram. He coming right up. Art Jordan, my man. Shout out to y'all. Now, listen up. Y'all know why I kept clowning these hats. This is what Taj was talking about. No coincidence his name is Taj, and there's a Taj hat, a Smurf hat. Press 1. So listen to how they got you to believe in Mithra as your Lord and Savior. This is all Constantine behavior. This is all that stuff. This is what they had to get you to believe in, and get you to believe in the spiritual aspect, but the imagery will be that of Mithras, not Caesar Borgia, not all of this fake shit people hitting y'all with. It goes back to ancient times. Go ahead.
For a very long time, there has been an idea out there that Jesus Christ of the Christians was based on the Indo-Aryan god Mithra or Mithras. But where does this idea come from, and is there any truth to it? Let's find out.
Let's see what he says. Hurry up.
People have heard of the various claims before. Like Mithras, was born on the 25th of December of a... He published a massive work titled The Origin of All Religious Worship.
Now, that this is going to let you know that they all believe in the same God. Art Jordan said, new one on the way. My guy. Look, the origin of the fall of all religious worship. What did I tell y'all? And look at Francois. Where Francois at? Francois.
In which he claimed that Jesus, like Mithras, was born on the 25th of December of a virgin. He died and rose again.
Now watch this. Was Jesus born in December? No.
He had 12 disciples, had a Last Supper, etc. And I'm sure most people have heard of the various claims before, because they have been propagated so widely. All the basic claims proposed by Dupuy in 1794 are the exact same ones that are still heard today. The main argument pursued through the book is that Mithras is the sun god, and that Jesus is only one of many iterations of this same mythological explanation of the sun and its various functions, powers, and its birth and rebirth. However, most of the work is pure conjecture and assertion.
Hello. When studying gods of the Roman Empire or Christianity's origin, chances are you will come across the cult of Mithras. Now, there's a lot of talk floating around about this cult, especially with its parallels to Christianity. But as we will see, these are generally unfounded. In this video, we'll be examining the cult of Mithras by looking at what we can work out about that religion through the iconography temples dedicated to Mithras had, and then what these can really tell. This suggests there is a strong link between Sol Invictus and Mithras, and that the sacrifice of the bull is being done for the benefit of Sol. On the top right of the scene is Luna, the moon deity, sometimes seen in a two-horse chariot.
Told you. Now, let's go back. Get your thinking caps on. It's on. This is what I want to show you. Look.
In this central image, a representation of Sol would appear on the top left of the entrance in the cavern, sometimes riding in a four-horse chariot. In this example, Sol is wearing a sun crown.
Boom. Sol, moon, sun, moon. Isis, Mary. Oh, this is great.
Sending light down
the
to
moon goddess.
Himself is looking over his shoulder at Sol. This suggests there is a strong link between Sol Invictus and Mithras, and that the sacrifice of the bull is being done for the benefit of Sol. On the top right of the scene is Luna, the moon deity, sometimes seen in a two-horse chariot. But here is watching the events and is often associated with the crescent-shaped imagery.
Now that is what 19 Keys and all of these black dudes in these religious cults. This is what all that is about. There's none of that, all that ancestors, they all believe in this.
The scene, Mithras is depicted killing the bull, and is in an Anatolian or Persian costume, which is not only inferred from his clothes, but also his hat, which was popular in the region, a Phrygian cap. And in some reliefs, he also wears a quiver on his back, with a bow placed in the scene behind him. And whilst not in this scene, I will show an example of one in a minute. Mithras himself is shown kneeling on the bull, which itself is shown kneeling on the ground. This suggests exhaustion from the fight. Mithras holds the bull's nostrils with his left hand while stabbing it with a dagger or short sword with his right. Below the wound there is always a dog trying to lick blood from the wound, and a snake here which is risen by a jar known as a crater, and through the open jaws of a lion, the lion which is sometimes represented separately, as it too reaches towards the blood of the wounded bull. A raven is either depicted flying around, sitting on, or, as represented here, sitting near the bull, and below the bull, near its hind legs, is a scorpion. Wheat is either shown coming from the wound or from the tail of the bull, and here the tail ends in 7 heads of wheat, and around the scene are 2 torch-bearers known as cotes and cotopates, known as dadophores, and they either carry torches with one facing up and one facing down, or they carry shepherd's crooks. Here are some other examples. In this statue, held at the Vatican, we can see more clearly the dog and snake, although Mithras isn't turning his head as there is no soul deity in this representation. And in this relief, which was found in V in 2009, we can point out the features, and this does show Sol in his 4-horse chariot on the top right, and has Mithras in possession of a quiver and a bow. And I'll highlight these now, so you can hopefully see them more clearly. And now I'll go back to the relief to give you a chance to pick them out of the actual photo. So the icons were common amongst many temples, and the central image of the slaying of the bull was almost identical in all temples. But what did this mean? Well, the cult itself was a mystery cult, meaning that only as you became more involved in the cult would secrets be made available to you. We know from archaeological evidence from imagery in these temples that have been discovered that the cult had 7 tiers, and that were linked to the zodiac, and individuals could ascend through the ranks through rituals.
So let me replay that.
Temples that have been discovered that the cult had 7 tiers, and that were linked to the zodiac, and individuals could ascend through the ranks through rituals. Now, one of the pieces of archaeological evidence found was a mosaic floor from Ostia, which I'll show you on the side. And if we look at this closely, we can see that the ranks themselves are displayed through some related imagery that appear in some of that iconography, and those ranks were named as follows. Raven being represented by the planet Mercury, the bridegroom being Venus, the soldier being Mars, Leo being Jupiter, Persian being the moon, the sun runner being the sun, and the father of the sun being Saturn.
Damn, that's almost like the Tower of Babel. Jeez, let me replay that. Damn, hold up.
The zodiac, and individuals could ascend through the ranks through
Wait a
rituals.
minute.
Now, one of the pieces of archaeological evidence found was a mosaic floor from Ostia, which I'll show you on the side. And if we look at this closely, we can see that the ranks themselves are displayed through some related imagery that appear in some of that iconography, and those ranks were named as follows. Raven being represented by the planet Mercury, the bridegroom being Venus, the soldier being Mars, Leo being Jupiter, Persian being the moon, the sun runner being the sun, and the father of the sun being Saturn. And so all ranks were related to the sacrifice of the bull, some being more involved than others, dependent on the rank. And the status of your Mithras rank was taken very seriously.
Damn, that's how these sacrifices go down. They will all be, like, let's say Notorious Big will be the bull.
Seen from inscriptions of dedications being that of lion, or called Leo as a zodiac sign. And so above that you would you'd have significant influence within the cult. And whilst this seems only to be And while this seems to be a male-only cult, any male could join, even slaves, although your ranking would be affected by your social standing, and as such, no slaves would ever necessarily be ranked above soldiers in the Roman armies. And these soldiers would take the rank seriously, and they would not only not want slaves not ranked above them, but in the army they would be expected to wear different headdresses because of the use of the crown of Mithras. In a spiritual sense, they already thought they were wearing a helmet, so to wear another with adornments would be wrong. Other information found about the initiation refers to handshakes, and the cult were known as syndexioi.
Okay, so this isn't Illuminati. This is the cult of Mithras. Okay, this is their oath to each other, given the sacrifice that was made at the initial friendship treaties in which they came against the king. They all took an oath to betray Christ, to deny God, and the Victorians. Okay. So they all have taken an oath to come again. That's why Tupac had the 50 niggas on his chest, symbolizing the 50 nations, Germanic too, Russian too. That's why it's an AK-47 that waged war against what? The black family. Remember, Tupac said we're not allowed to have a black family in this white man's world. We're not allowed to be progressive. We're not allowed to have anything. And somebody got to explain why we ain't got shit. And Mr. Gillespie is doing a great job at it. Let's rock.
Is connected by handshake, which may have been taken from the Persian tradition of signifying an agreement between two people with a handshake. Although, as an aside, the earliest handshake is depicted in a 3,000-year-old relief from Assyria, with an Assyrian shaking hands with a Babylonian, and I'll put a picture of that now. Now, the story of Mithras doesn't end there, as there's lots of other iconography representing key moments in Mithras' life, and this is all around the central imagery. And occasionally these pictures just signs of the zodiac, which would make sense now we know what the signs of the zodiac actually represent in terms of ranks. But there are other images there too. So what other information is there? Well, let's look at the examples surrounding this central scene to see if it hints about the story of Mithras and his life. This iconography does change between temples, but there's still a lot of commonality, and in the example I'm showing, the top border has 6 scenes, which is made up of 3 scenes of 2, starting from the outside and coming inwards. First, the top left and top right show the heads of the wind gods.
You ever seen that? You ever seen like the Smurfs and shit? Now, when you see the Statue of Liberty, like this thing in the middle, it's really just supposed to, it's a head, body, and a torso and legs. So
and with their wings in their hair.
You have to see through the allegorical, but you can see.
And cones of wind coming out of their mouths. Mithras stands naked in front of the left-hand god, wearing his hat, and is next to probably what is a cypress tree, from which he is breaking a branch. And he is climbing a cypress tree in front of the right-hand wind god. Moving inwards, on the top icons, we see 2 archers in a Persian costume, posing in opposite directions on either side, half kneeling and using a large Scythian bow aiming at a large overhanging rock. This is probably a reference to a story that we see on monuments to Mithras along the Danube in Europe, where he fires an arrow at the rock to encourage water to come forth, with some referring to this as the water miracle, but is in fact a mythologem, originating from stories that probably started because of drought in the area where the religion began, as it is a common theme represented in temples. This view is not only because we know that Persia to be relatively light in rainfall, but also Europe, as told in the story of the rain miracle, and where many of the soldiers who fought for the Roman Empire were stationed, and they could well have been members of the cult. Above is a 860 CE. In further examples, animals are included from dogs and lions to eagles before he drags it back to the cavern where the central scene takes place.
Well, let me play this last one. I just want to give you a clear eye view of the gods. This shit is wild. Because you have to remember, the selling of one soul was only a penny. was only a penny.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Historian's Craft. So, let's just jump right into this video. Everybody watching this has probably heard of, or knows of, to some extent, the famous conversion of the Roman Emperor Constantine from some sort of paganism, whatever it was he followed before the conversion, to Christianity. And on the 28th of October, in the year 312, at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge near Rome, Constantine's soldiers painted a symbol. Some people say it's a cross, some people say it's the KevRow, the first two letters of Jesus' name, on their shields, because Constantine was supposedly told by God, in this sign, conquer. He supposedly has a vision before the battle, and he tells his soldiers to put this on their shields, on their equipment, and they win. So his forces win the battle, his rival Maxentius is defeated, and Constantine becomes sole emperor, and then his conversion to Christianity really begins. There are, however, some problems with this conversion. There are issues that historians of the late Roman Empire and early Christianity are somewhat divided on. So what I want to do in this video, okay, is explore that topic a little bit. Now, there's always more to be said on this. People have written entire books about the conversion.
So, as you can see, they brought Mithra into the church. Sol Invectus. There's no, he became a Christian. Christianity, there's but one Christian. But Christianity is the worship of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, S-U-N. The Catholic Church, all of it.
Other cultures' gods were often, not always, but often seen as extensions or even versions of their own gods. And there was a general tolerance for many different faiths as long as people incorporated the imperial cult into whatever they were doing in terms of religion, as long as they sacrificed to the emperor, as long as they honored him, etc. The Romans didn't really care what you did. The exception to this largely appears to have been Judaism. Now, Judaism was seen as a nuisance, but the Romans respected Judaism, even though they persecuted Jews. They respected the idea of the religion because it was extremely old. They had serious issues with aspects of it, but they respected the age of Judaism, and in matters like that, the Romans were very conservative. The older the better. Old things in Roman society gave current stuff legitimacy. So in the eyes of the Romans, Judaism is problematic, but it's cool because it's old. Christianity is an issue not only because it emerges from Judaism, but because if you get to the heart of it, well, what was Christianity when it first developed? Early Christianity, when it first emerges from Judaism, doesn't resemble what we would now understand to be modern-day Christianity. Now, there are, of course, the same central elements. Jesus as the Son of God, the crucifixion, the resurrection, the rite of communion, etc. But when it first starts, Christianity was an apocalyptic sect of Judaism. Now, there were a lot of different forms of Judaism in the Near East in the first century. And there were some groups of Jews, some sects, who believed that they were living in the end of days. They were constantly searching for the Messiah. At some point in the 2nd century, one of these groups thinks they find him. This is Bar Kokhba, and he leads a revolt which is named after him. But in the 1st century, there were Jews who believed they were living in, the end times. So
motherfuckers, they knew they were living in the end time 150 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? These people, type of people, love to place themselves 2,000 years ago, but don't know nothing that happened 100 years ago. Oh yeah, y'all was slaves by then. Let's go.
They're actively looking for some sort of a Messiah.
Yes.
So there's that. And then there's also the sense of exclusivity with Christianity, which built on the exclusivity of Judaism. So in Judaism, the Jews have a special covenant with their God, And the early Christians build on this because the
and build on this and sound familiar? So what's the covenant? Thou shalt not have no God before me. You know the covenant. It's all in the contract too, the Constitution, in which if you remember the covenant, you remember the contract, you remember the agreement, you will see there in violation, thus setting off the end of the belief of the dead corporate state. The dead man, which is who has you in dead hands? The corporation, which is a dead God, a dead man, in which you got to come out of. See, the whole coming of the Lord is to get you and reclaim the debt that was paid to remove you from dead hands. And those of you who are in class know exactly what I mean. And that's going to the trust and all of that. So not only in allegorical form they know, but from a legal basis and a legal standpoint, they're getting a little better at the understanding of it. You keep hearing my students say the 1828 dictionary. Well, of course.
Relationship with Christ. He was the Savior. And if you gave yourself to him, then you would in turn be saved. But you could not worship any other god. So at one and the same time, early Christianity was universal. It was open to all. It welcomed anyone. But once you got in, that's it. Now, it did also stress the need for charity, doing good in the world, what we might broadly classify as, social justice, and it put itself in good standing in Roman culture because of that aspect. So, some early Romans did become attracted to Christianity because of this, but Constantine's conversion is really the shift. Now, why is this the shift? Well, prior to Constantine, some emperors have begun to focus on the worship of Sol, the god of the sun, or at least one of the major ones, because there are a couple different solar deities in Roman culture in this time. Now, the worship of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, was famously solidified under the reign of the Emperor Aurelian during the 3rd century, and earlier aspects of sun worship certainly stood out in Roman society. The Emperor Nero built this massive statue of himself, but this was later altered to represent the god.
Okay.
In Roman culture in this time. Now, the worship of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, was famously solidified under the reign of the Emperor Aurelian during the 3rd century, and earlier aspects of sun worship certainly stood out in Roman society. The Emperor Nero built this massive statue of himself, but this was later altered to represent the god Sol, and it's a name which appears to have been applied to a couple different deities by the 3rd century, which brings us back to Constantine. But this was later altered to represent the god Sol, and it's a name which appears to have been applied to a couple different deities by the 3rd century, which brings us back to Constantine. So there are less than accurate ideas, some of which border on conspiracies, and some of which
So they invested in a large copper god? Is that what we're dealing with? Help me understand what they did. What did they do, though? Oh my goodness. It's hard to even conceive, but I must press on. You guys took after. This is a whole god sitting off over there.
Are conspiracies which come out of really, really bad pseudo-documentaries like Zeitgeist and pseudo-history that Jesus Christ and this sun god, Sol Invictus, not really Mithras because we really don't know that much about that cult, but Sol Invictus were one and the same.
See?
This really is not that simple. Now, it's debated when this man, Joshua, of which the name Jesus is a translation coming from Greek, was understood to be the Messiah and a deity. There are those who would place this rather early, possibly during Jesus' own lifetime. There were those who would argue that it's something that developed a bit later. But the synoptic gospels, so the gospels of Mark, Matthew, and Luke, they do use the term Son of God. Now, this is not a conflation between the word son in the biological sense and the word son in the astronomical sense. These are two very different things. The apocalyptic sect of Judaism, active in the Near East in the 1st century, were awaiting their Messiah. And within this context, the term Son of God refers to a messianic title associated with the idea of the return of a king for the Jews.
Boom. The return of the king is the end of the world. Because the dead man, sin, and the belief in the dead man is destroyed by the Son of God. The return of Christ. So Christ comes back. I don't know why they keep saying you coming back and you got multiple lives. Only one who is said to return in Scripture is Christ. Christ comes back to take back what he died for. I don't know why y'all thinking religiously when this is reality. He will come back through the lineage and claim what's being held for him. That's the importance of knowing why in God we trust. This person is born on earth to claim the estate in which you fall under, setting forth what they call the end of the world, Armageddon. So if you don't know, you're either in an allegorical asylum who need help, serving the dead god Odin you thinking is Christ and God, or you are waiting for the Son of God's return until your last breath, hoping to see and the coming of the Lord and the kingdom of heaven emerging. Not you going off into space somewhere. Oh no, law being established. Oh yeah, the end of your Egyptian fallacies, aka phallus. The end of all of that. And that's why the world is going through what it's going through, I believe, right now, because it's only inevitable that all of them cause all of these propagandish, theatrical shows at this time, even down to the Tupac assassination, finally. So you got to be able to break this down better than this guy on the screen. I'm telling you, the time is now. They thinking 2,000 years ago. They weren't even around then.
Resembling David. And it wasn't
necessarily. Listen to how he describes it.
To a messianic title associated with the idea of the return of a king for the Jews, resembling David. And it wasn't.
Now, if you don't know that you're God's people and don't have a clear account of history and knowing what this is about, this would be like, oh, this is a great story. This is why we support the Jews. No. The reason why you fail is because a Redeemer is coming through your lineage, which is by these presidents, these heads of FBIs have made and quoted. There will never be a black Messiah unless but we'll get back to that. This was all based on you.
Necessarily meant in a literal sense.
That's why the crack was put on a black woman. That's why Sanger, the attack is on the woman's womb. The liberation of the woman, because just like the lottery, a Messiah may be born by you, and you ain't even thinking about it. Go ahead.
Although it could be, I mean, there are certainly hints in the Gospel of John that it could be associated with a belief in the Trinity, God the Father, Holy Spirit. But for Trinitarian purposes, the phrase is usually God the Son, not Son of God. God the Son, meaning that Jesus was understood to be the incarnation of the Jewish God in
the flesh. Say it.
Do you call it human flesh?
Yes.
Should we understand Jesus to be a demigod? How can a God be killed via crucifixion?
He wasn't killed. It was all an ordained walk to heal from the initial venomous bite of the viper. The venomous, remember the snake in the garden who set forth sin. That's what Jesus was correcting, because everybody was on a collision course for sure death and the belief of it, like as we are now. All they had to do with Christ was look, and everybody on earth seen Christ on the pole as they did Moses when he put the brazen serpent on the pole, which is why Tupac put himself on the pole. It's a story of one of the greatest self-sacrifice for humanity, so that all they had to do was look. That's all they had to do with the serpent, with Moses. That's all they had to do was look at Christ on the pole, because Christ knew, because it was written. It's written in John. He was going to come back and send forth what? The Spirit of truth to do what? Okay, let's get back to this.
Fiction. Or was it symbolic more than anything? If that's the case, then what was going on with the body of Jesus in the tomb? These are serious issues which the early Christians had to work out in the 1st and 2nd centuries, and which modern historians of early Christianity still grapple with. The Roman emperors and the government more broadly had a problem with this term, because Son of God, despite the fact that it has, specifically Jewish connotations in the sense, was a title understood to be reserved for the Roman emperors themselves.
Fact.
So when
so
Jesus
they wanted the glory of
this,
God. You see, they're claiming the Son, S-U-N. He's claiming the heirship. They're claiming, right? That's me. No, it's not. The Pope is not Christ. Benedict is not Christ. None of them, no matter if they wear that is not the Queen, that ain't King Charles. They can wear all the clothes they want to. They're not ordained naturally here, and it's crazy.
Well, is that a rebellion? What is it? It wasn't very clearly understood in the 1st and 2nd centuries. You will also sometimes see, especially online, especially around the holidays, that this Christian holiday, Christmas, is a co-option of a pagan holiday often associated with Sol Invictus.
It's Sol Invictus. So you're not worshiping Christ. You're worshiping a dead God. You're worshiping, oh my goodness. You're worshiping a deity known for sacrifice, damn near Baal.
Sun deity we've been talking about. The short answer to this, because it's not the main focus of the video, is that we're not entirely sure why the Christians pick the 25th of December, but religious scholars do know enough that it's not any co-option of Sol Invictus. There is this one record coming from a calendrical text called the Chronography of 354, which is a text which, well, as the name suggests, it's a chronography. It compiles different religious and secular dates of importance. It's really the first solid evidence we have of Christmas being celebrated on the 25th of December, and the passage which records that, also records that it's the day of Sol Invictus's birth.
Yeah, but the Bible tells you not to bring a tree in your house, like the evergreen tree, the Christmas tree, and decorate it with bells. So that's how you can tell. You either a believer and a reader of the word and understand, or you a believer in allegories and fantasies, which is against God. Because this guy can say, oh yeah, they've been recording Christmas forever. But the Bible, the word of God says, don't bring a damn tree in your shit. So who you gonna believe? The word of God? Law? Or, oh yeah, bring it on in and decorate it with trees. Everything anti. Let's go.
But the text is the only evidence we have of a birthday for Sol Invictus. It's relatively late compared to when his cult actually develops. So you can't really, in good faith, just extrapolate Christians stole Christmas from Sol Invictus from the text. All it does...
Christians did. It's a merging of them all. True believers of God don't.
is record two.
Christmas is just a day you get a present. It ain't Jesus' birthday. It ain't none of that. It's big everybody's birthday.
Two different holy days, one for Jesus, one for Sol Invictus, which happen to fall on the same date. The actual text gives no indication that the two are conflated whatsoever. They just happen to share a day. Now, just as well, the whole idea that Christians stole Christmas doesn't actually show up in history really until the 16th and 17th centuries. There is one text which states this briefly in the 12th century, but we don't have much context for it, and it really starts cropping up during the Reformation in Europe. So where does this whole idea of the 25th of December come from? Well, the dividing line between BC and AD is actually wrong because Jesus was born probably in 4 BC, not 1 AD, which brings up the issue of his birth. So early Christian scholars, like monks, in fact, they were primarily monks, tried to calculate when he lived, and in so doing, they took hints about the placement of stars and other things in the New Testament to come to the conclusion that the conception took place in March, specifically March 25th, and 9 months from then is, of course, December 25th. Now, what probably happens, okay, is that pagan elements of other holidays were taken over by Christians throughout the development of this religion, although not the date of Christmas and not the Christmas tree in the form that we understand the Christmas tree today. That appears to be largely a late Renaissance, early modern German thing.
Don't be like Esau. Don't be. Let me stop. Let me stop class right here. Y'all can do research. We'll be back tomorrow morning in class, of course. Give some more teaching. It's time for me to eat my lunch and get back to my studies and get back to a study Sol Invictus. Study the furthest. Study my videos so you're not in class just observing. You're out also participators. Now, I have to leave because I got to get ready for the silliness of tonight's show. Urban News, Urban Conservative News, Channel 54 shit. And it's just, I already know it's going to get silly. So I hope y'all tune in to that. Support the broadcast. Shout out to the few people who's contributed to this page today. Shout out to you guys. Let me read my last little contributors off. I was getting them while I was there. Bibbs, shout out to you. Shout out to Gaddis. Shout out to you and Cam. Cam Bird. Shout out to y'all out there. I'll see y'all tomorrow right here on Channel 54 first thing in the morning. And as always,